Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Azure for Sure. I'm your host Simon, and we are back once again. If you're someone who's joining us for the very first time, we stream this show Azure for Sure every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And some of you may know that this is only 10 episode series, and we are almost halfway down. And I couldn't be more excited for today's episode because today we're gonna host Goran, who is a Microsoft AI MVP. We get a lot into it later on and talk to Goran what he's going to talk about today. But if you're someone who has joined all the past episodes, but if in case you have missed some of those, wherever you are watching, we are streaming all episodes over there. Maybe C Sharp Corner, maybe Cloud Summit, maybe my LinkedIn profile, and a couple of more destinations. You can find all the links over there. And yeah, I think it's time we go ahead and bring our speakers. Today, we're going to talk about from 3D model to AI on the edge. I definitely have no idea what the content is going to be about. That is why I'm so excited. Yeah, Goran is an AI MVP. I am hosting him for the very, very first time. So I'm really excited. So without any further ado, let's bring our guest into the live show. Hi, Goran. Welcome to the Azure for Sure live show.
Hello, and thank you. It's great to be here.
So, Goran, quickly, since I'm hosting for the very first time, where are you actually joining us today from?
From Malmo, Sweden. Yeah,
Okay,
uh,
that's great.
that's
So,
that's where I live. I work in Copenhagen, in Denmark,
mhm.
which is just across the bridge, commuting between two countries each day,
Yeah, how
and
beautiful is
originally
that?
from Croatia.
That's great. So,
Uh,
what time is it at your place now?
it is 6 p.m.
All right, 6 p.m. Mine is 10:30 p.m. I just had my dinner. So, Goran, so you are a Microsoft AI MVP, right? So, quick, I know I follow you on LinkedIn. I know you do a lot of stuff with these robots. I saw the picture in the beginning. You have these robots and all this stuff, right? So, what do you do actually in your this community and in your the work day?
So first workday, I work as engineering manager in a company named Pandora. Maybe you
Mm-hmm.
heard about it, most popular
Yeah, I
jewelry in
have.
the world. And I'm leading the data infrastructure team. And yeah, in my free time, I'm tech guy who likes to, write the blog posts, experiment with technology, try to do a lot of cool stuff. I often use some toys in my projects. Legos are my favorite. You will see some today, and so on. Yeah, so it's I attend a lot of conferences, called workshops, and such.
Yeah, I mean, definitely you're involved in a lot of cool stuff. I see there. Govan, so today you're going to talk about from 3D model to AI on the edge. I'm really excited to it because I've never seen a session title that has 3D and AI together. So I'm really excited
Yeah.
to it. I'm not going to take much of your time, Karan. I see you already sharing the screen. I'm going to add it to the stream. Everybody else can see it. And next 25 to 30 minutes is all yours.
Thank you. Okay, so I gave quick introduction to myself, so I will just add that you can find me on Twitter and LinkedIn. Feel free to connect. Feel free to let me know what kind of cool AI, IoT projects you work on, and yeah, if you enjoyed this session, maybe you want to join some of the upcoming ones. So today we will talk a bit about computer vision and AI in general. Then we will slowly build the story through some basic examples that I will show you, and go into the story about synthetic data. what it is and how it's used and why it is important, why it is actually the future of AI. So computer vision, I will not take long about it. Everybody knows what it is, and some common tasks with it we are doing, trying to do image classifications, telling, okay, is this picture a cat or dog, doing the object detection, figuring out like objects in the image, OCR, facial recognition, pose estimation, and so on. So our computers nowadays are able to see, and we can define different tasks for them to do that. And through this talk, we will focus on object detection. So let's imagine we have this picture, right? With object detection, we could, for example, identify glasses are here. If you use this picture in some standard Azure computer vision, like it would probably also detect the dog, detect the laptop in background, and so on. So with the object detection, we are trying to recognize some object that is in picture and find the bounding box where this object exactly is placed, right? And you can use, as I said, computer vision for some standard tasks. It is trained to recognize 1,000 general models. But what if you need something custom? If you want to recognize this Lego Batman, for example, right? Then you need to train your own model, and you can do it with the custom vision. I will show you one project that I did a long time ago, and it's called Where's Chewie? We are looking for this Lego minifigure Chewbacca on this board, trying to recognize it. And this is something that computer vision model is not trained for, right? We are using some custom objects over here and trying to do that. If you want to do it on your own, it's super simple. Like, go to Custom Vision AI, create a project there, just give it a name, define a resource. You would like to object detection in a general domain, and you can start with your project. So how it works? First, you need to upload images of this object that you are trying to recognize. You need to tag the images, define where in those images is the object. You need to train the model, and then you test it. Pretty simple. Probably most of you did it already. Just quick walkthrough. So we are uploading images. You see, I took a lot of pictures of the Chewbacca minifigure standing on Lego catalog, just to be some different backgrounds, so so custom vision can easier identify where the object is. Then for each of those pictures, we need to define, okay, where is our Chewbacca on it, right? Define our own bounding box and give it a tag, Chewie, as you can see in this picture. And once you do it for all the images, you can train the model. And over here on the top right, you can see there is a quick test. So immediately in this web interface, you can click the quick test. You can select some picture that this model haven't seen before, and try with that picture to identify where the object is. This was the first test because it used really a small amount of images, and as you can see, detections are not correct, right? It's detecting something, but that is not Chewbacca. And on bottom right, you can see that it's only 20% certain about it. So what we need to do now, this red line, we went through the flow, we tested the model, we are not happy with the result. We go back, we upload more images, we tag them again, train the model, and we test it again. Uploading more images will give us a better result. As you can see over here, Chewbacca is identified correctly with 40.8% certainty, that probability that this is correct. Giving Giving this model more and more images will make it more accurate, right? We will easier identify where the object is that we are looking for. But if we step a bit back and think, okay, how this actually works, and take a whole picture, we see that it's really time consuming to take those images, to upload them and tag them, right? This is where the most of our time is going. So is there something that we could do to make this process easier? And this is something where synthetic data can help us out. And by definition, synthetic data provides this inexpensive alternative to real-world data that is used to create accurate AI models. So with use of 3D models that are photorealistic, right, we could generate a lot of images and train our model with those images. So we could shorten this time for data collection and tagging. We could also, in the production, minimize costs for the data collection. We can even reduce the bias in training data and get more accurate AI detections. That for sure. So imagine, for example, you want to detect some specific object, and like nowadays in whatever industry we talk about, you will most likely have 3D model of your product. So you could use the 3D model to generate images and to train the model. And synthetic data is not something that I came up with, or that is my idea. Far away from that. Synthetic data is like a really hot topic. You will see it on the Gartner's hype cycle last year. You can see it like this research you see now on the screen. It was published 2 years ago, where they predict like that use of synthetic data will be like 3 to 4 times higher in 2030 than use of real data. Because real data, when you are taking pictures, you need to think about GDPR, many other things, and with synthetic data, you can generate those pictures and train your models. Okay, so sounds great, right? But what kind of solutions we have out there? Unity is working on their solution called Perception. It allows you to upload your 3D model of your object, and then with this perception package, like a plugin for Unity, you can generate the pictures. And over here on the right side, you see this object in the middle and a lot of other objects in the background, right? And it should look like something on the left here once you take the picture. And Perception will tag automatically the project that this object that you are looking for, right? And generate the pictures for you. And you can use these pictures to train your model. There is also a solution from NVIDIA. It is called Omniverse Replicator. And this is like a simulation framework that will allow you to generate synthetic data. And it is mostly focused on the autonomous vehicles and for training robots. So for situations like robots in the warehouses and such, this is really great. You can check that out also. But just as every presentation need to have some slide with bold statement, mine has also. And I'll tell you that we can generate synthetic data even with JavaScript. Don't get me wrong, JavaScript is most popular programming language in the world. Actually, Python, JavaScript is most used, sorry. But thing is, my take on it is always, if it works in browser, then it works anywhere. If you can do it in a browser, you can easily, you don't need some super fancy tools for it. Like, you can do it on your own, and I'll show you how. There are several libraries, like 3JS in this example, that allows you to use the 3D objects in a browser. So you can render them by use of WebGL. You can find 3JS on its official website, 3js.org, and you will find a link to GitHub, and you can find a lot of examples there. So let me switch now to my browser, where I have this page open. And over here, you can see some examples that people created, but also over here you have official examples that you can open up. And now you can see here that 3D model loaded in the browser, and you can also notice that this model is animated. That's pretty cool. Over here you can see a lot of different examples what 3JS is capable to do. It can define different effects, lightnings, and so on, that can also help you generate those pictures that you would like to use correctly. So when you train the model, like one of the things you need to keep in your mind is, okay, lightning out there in the real world can be different, and with use of some options that 3D.js is offering, you can simulate such things. Okay, so also over here you can see light from the different angle. So let me show you how it works live, actually. And I will switch to terminal quickly. And over here, I will start 3JS locally. Now it's running. And I will switch to Visual Studio Code. And here I have one 3JS script that we will go through, and I will explain you what it's doing, and we'll see how it looks in a browser. So it's pretty simple, and this is not something that I wrote. I just added a few lines of code. This is the standard example that you can find if you check 3JS, and we have some container element. And we are adding the camera, setting up the camera, and setting up the scene. We will also, for that scene, set up the hemisphere light and directional lights. All those are standard things. In the scene, we will have a 3D object added. And so we don't want this object to be flying somewhere in the air. So we want to define the ground, like one mesh that is a ground, and we will put a grid on that ground just to be a bit more visible. We will load one model, and in this case, I'm using R2D2. If you can see over here, what I'm holding in hand, this is Lego R2D2. And what I have actually is a realistic 3D model of it. So I'll be able to use 3D model to generate a lot of images, train the model, and recognize this object. So model never seen the real object. It will just use the synthetic images. So getting back to the code, we load this model, and we add it to our scene. I will uncomment soon the other parts so you can see what it is about. Okay, so when we load the scene, we see our 3D model. I'm able to rotate it around, zoom in, out, and check it out. That is our 3D model of R2D2. Okay, it's not really realistic. Something is missing. Our textures, right? So if we go back to code, and now I comment the textures, we have texture for the head and for the body. This 3D objects consist of two elements. So we are looking for a child that is head. We'll apply the texture head, and body will apply the texture body. Okay, I will save this, go back to browser, and hop, there it is, our R2D2, right? Looks really realistic. Now let's go back to the code. What else we are able to do? As you can see over here in the scene, there is this ground with mesh. We don't actually want that. So we would like to use some kind of texture in the background. And here I will add the texture. I'm using the standard Star Wars backgrounds that you can find, wallpapers you can find on the internet. But before adding it, I want to remove the ground and the grid. So when I save this and reload, I can see my R2D2, right? And it's using the Star Wars background. So one more thing we could do to, to make this more fun is we could animate our camera. There is one small function that is animating the camera. So I will uncomment this, save, head back to the page, reload, and you can see that now camera is animated, background is fixed. That means if we take the screenshots with this, we can generate a lot of pictures of this object from many different angles, right? And that pictures we can use for the training. So how is this done? There is a really nice framework called Playwright, and it allows you to do a lot of things like cross browser, cross platform, different languages, and it is great for testing your web pages. You can find it on website playwright.dev. I will let you explore the possibilities with it. Maybe you already seen it. It's really popular. But if you use it to take screenshots, and for example, in your code, you could also change the backgrounds, you could generate a lot of those pictures and you could train your model. So basically here you can see I'm changing different Star Wars background and I can train the model and try to recognize it. I can run the quick test here in browser, but I could also test it somewhere else. How about at the edge? AI is going to the edge. There are devices nowadays that are capable of processing AI models that directly at the edge and uploading just the data points to the cloud. One of such devices is Azure Percept. It was released last year by Microsoft, and you can find it on our official website. This is how it looks. Over here, we have a central unit with the camera and audio array. Camera is on the right, audio array is left. In the Azure portal, you can find Percept Studio, and there you can easily train your models or publish the standard models. You will have option to publish the standard models for the object detection, people detection, and so on. You could try out the voice templates, like inventory in a warehouse, for example. But you could also go there and test your model that you just trained in the custom vision. So basically here through the simple UI, you can publish that model and test it on the device. You can connect to the device via the browser and see the video, what is happening. And here is the video of exactly that. Figuring out this object, our R2D2, based only on synthetic images. And for this purpose, it was used, I think, like 200 pictures or something like that. And it's detecting already with a high accuracy. Pretty cool, I believe. I also want to show you quickly one project I work in my free time is a web tool called Synthetic AI Data. It's a project supported by Microsoft for Startups. Microsoft for Startups can give you Azure credits if you have some startup project. This is mine. I applied it there and got accepted. If you have worked on some projects, please check it out. They are really great support for startup programs. What I'm building in my free time is, as I said, one web tool where you can go in, upload the model, and generate those pictures and integrate them directly into the custom vision. So, for example, over here, you can see, just give me a second to turn off the audio. Over here, we have a realistic model of sea turtle. So through the tool, you can easily pick the turtle. You can apply the texture. Basically, what you've seen now in a code, you can choose different backgrounds that you would like, different lighting effects, camera rotation. You can generate it, and you can integrate into Azure Custom Vision. And those are the test results. With only use of the model that is photorealistic. On the real pictures, this is detection in the custom vision test, right? So as I said, simple tool that I have fun in my free time. You upload model, configure option, and download generated data. Should be released soon. If you want to follow for updates, feel free to check out the LinkedIn page. So hopefully through this short session, I gave you some ideas like why AI is going toward the synthetic data and how this synthetic data, for example, can be generated for the computer vision. So thank you.
Absolutely great, Goran. I was just watching from behind the scenes that you've been using so many tools. There was Azure, there was Unity, there was 3GS, there was VS Code, and then towards the end you had this amazing Azure hardware that you just Percept, right? Is that right? Azure Percept, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So quick question. I know I told you, right, there might be some dumb question that I might be asking you. So you did had a physical model, right? One could take a picture of that and upload it and train it, right?
Yeah.
But what you actually did, that you wrote a code, right, and you created a 3D model. Is that what really
No,
happened?
no, no. I'm using the done 3D model, but you can also imagine it this way. Many of us already have 3D printers, right? You're
Yes.
using
Yeah.
3D model to print it out, and
Mm-hmm.
now you would like to recognize the object that you 3D printed. So
Mm-hmm.
why not use the same model and generate the
Oh.
pictures from it, train AI, and you are immediately able to recognize it. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So and all the textures that you added, that was all happening through the code, right? I
Yes.
can use
Yes.
any texture that I want.
Yes. Definitely.
Perfect. And also towards the end, Goran, when you were talking about the startup that you have, where you can upload your model and upload any texture. So what are the file extensions of these models? I did see you did share some of the libraries and where people can download it. But what are some of the extensions that one can upload?
That is the thing with 3D models, that there are so many different standards. I would say
Yeah.
what you're seeing at the moment is FBX models
Mm-hmm.
that work, and it's optimized for them at the moment. Yeah.
Perfect. So I did see you also had a Unity over there. So people who are working with Unity also spend good time on Blender, right? So if there's a 3D character on a Blender, I can use that and go ahead and train my model, and then I can use custom vision to recognize it, right? That can happen
Yeah,
too.
Unity has solution extension that can generate pictures for you. So you can also try that out. NVIDIA is also building a solution for that. So yeah, many solutions are popping up because this is becoming more and more hot topic. Like we need to be able to generate data for AI training,
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
simple reason that if you want to recognize this small guy, you need to take a lot of pictures from different
Yeah.
angles, from different lightnings, and to get the high accuracy. And that's what we are looking
Exactly.
for. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I get it, right? Sometimes, I mean, lighting is very important. Sometimes the camera angle, you need to make sure that you're taking pictures from all different angles, and it can be hectic sometimes. Yeah, Unity, I love the tool Unity. I've been using it a lot with C Sharp and all. So I love that. I think many people watching in, and once we put it out there, uh, people will love it. Now, Goran, a quick question before, I know we're already at 32 minutes. Throughout this session, Goran, you sounded very passionate about this entire ecosystem, right? This 3D object, this modeling, gaming, cloud, and all.
Yeah.
But there might be a few things that might be very challenging for you, right? I mean, during the process, what is the most challenging task uh, that you have faced?
um, like creating this, I'm not sure,
Or
but
maybe
like
it was too
my
easy for you.
my I'll twist it a bit. I'll say this way,
Yeah.
like I usually say that I'm a very visual guy, and
Okay.
when I try to present something, or even at the meetings, I often
Hmm.
draw some things and things like that.
Yeah.
So playing around with 3D models, applying textures, changing lightnings, this that, rendering different scenes and such, it's really fun. And I enjoy it really. So
Yeah.
that's great.
You definitely do, Goran. So before we leave, I'll ask you one final question, and I keep on saying it's final question. But apart from all this tech stuff, Goran, right? Coding, 3D modeling, AI, cloud. What do you do in your free time? I know you are very creative, but still, like, do you like cooking, or do you like playing music? Anything around that? Your hobbies?
Uh, yeah, I'm a father. I have a teenager who is 14. He's
Yeah.
interested also in tech, and I
Wow.
spend time with my wife and him. And yeah, I also like music. I'm on the heavy metal side of things, I would say. And yeah, that's in short, that's me. I like to travel and such, and hopefully we are getting back to more in-person conferences,
Yeah.
so I look forward to that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's few going on. I'm also looking forward to it. So, Goran, thank you so much once again. That was an absolutely pleasure having you. I was really excited to
Thank you.
host you, and we'd love to have you back whenever available. And
Yeah.
yeah, thank you, and hope to see you soon. Ta-da.
Thank
Bye,
you.
bye, Goran. Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. We'll see you next week. Ta-da. Bye. Where did that go? Video. Yeah.